Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Sega Man back here with another video. And today we're going to talk about the Sega 32X. A lot of people back in the day were excited about this system at first. And they wanted to rush out and get it because it had mega processing, blast processing, and it's I guess they considered it an add-on that made it a 32-bit system for the Sega Genesis. But actually, to some people, it was a failure. You know what I mean? And back in the day, I kind of wanted the 32X, and at that time, I couldn't afford it, so I kept rocking out my Sega Genesis. But I've had my 32X for at least, wow, over maybe 7-8 years now. Excuse me, maybe longer, but we're going to do a little review about my 32X and the games that I have for the system. Some of the games I have for the system are actually, there's one that's kind of really expensive right now, and it's in the box and everything, the original box, so we'll get to that a little later. But I have a complete 32X system. And what I want to show you first, actually, excuse me, is the box for the 32X. I get it at a local flea market, a lady I used to know. She's gone now. Later on, she turned into a jerk. You know what I mean? I don't know what her problem was. You know, I stopped buying from her. She just... complete jerk now, you know what I mean? But Linda was cool at first. Her name was Linda. It was called Linda and T's Place. That's what they called it in there. But she would just never, you know, some of the stuff she had up there was way overpriced, and you can find it other places so much cheaper, some of the things, and she would not budge for anybody, you know. And I even worked for her for a little while, and she just, you know, I had to let her go. So anyways, this is the box to the 32X. This is the original box for the Genesis 32X. And it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's not in like perfect condition, but at least I have the box for it. When you find the when you get a 32X, you usually never ever get the box, and sometimes you don't even get all the pieces. I have every last single piece for the 32X that goes on the system. And this is the back of it here, showing you what it looks like. And then it shows you down the bottom there where it's on that tray with the Genesis 2 and the CD, which I also have that too downstairs. I'm actually using that. And I'm not using my original Sega CD. I have that put away. It looks like it kind of looks like a CD player, and you attach it onto the big Genesis. But that's the first one. That's the one that costed $500, $400 or $500 back in the day. But that's what it looks like there. And then it gives you a little overview of some of the games that were going to go on the system. Right there. Some of them that are in that description I actually have. And well, let's open it up real quick. I have some of the. I have mostly. Well, yeah, I have all the pieces to it. The metal parts, there were some metal parts that go on it. It was for, like, I forgot what it was for. If it was for, not, for some kind of stabilization or something. I can't remember. But, there were some, this even has the original papers in them. You know, the directions, you know, to the Sega 32X. That was in there. Get $10 back. I think it was like it's a 32X mailing coupon that was in there. Some more directions in here, you know, like the AC adapters and excuse me guys, my throat's kind of sort of important. Please read, you know, like instructions and stuff like that. We're not gonna all that. And then it had some actual cool things in there, like where you can get Game Players magazine and you know, Nintendo, Sega, You know what I mean? That was in there enclosed. Winner instructions, like where you can get Sega Visions. Now, I actually own a Sega Visions book. I have downstairs magazine, and I'll show that later when I do my bid on my Sega CD, which I'm going to do later on in the future. Maybe even sooner than you think. So, but that's some of the stuff that came inside there. These are extra cables that came with it. This is an adapter thing that plugs in to the side there. These, everybody's looking for these. This is to hook up to the regular Genesis. This cable is very expensive if you can find it. Very expensive, I heard. If you can find to hook up to your regular Genesis, and a lot of people are looking for this cable. These are the metal rods that actually went on the system to go inside the Genesis, and it hooks up somehow. But those are the metal rods. And this is the cardboard thing it actually came in. So, let's go through some of the games. This one here is, it is Zaxxon Mother Base 2000, I think it's called, or Race. I tried this game out. It's pretty cool. A lot of these 32X games you can't find it. Actually can't find them in its original case. If you do, they're very expensive. Because remember, they were cardboard cases. Some of them. And then some of them did come in regular cases, I believe. I have some like that. But that was a pretty decent game. Some people say this was one of the best games that was on the 32X, was the Star Wars game. It's pretty good. It's really not that bad. It's pretty good. But by far, one of the best games ever, if you guys get a 32X, a working one, and it works good, is a game that is called Virtual Racing. I have the original Virtual Racing for the Genesis, and it only works in the regular Genesis. So, Virtual Racing, by far, to some people, is the best game on the 32X. I think it's one of the best games. It's a great game, and I love it, so it's pretty good. So, give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, guys, I'm back. Sorry for that little delay. Now, the rest of these games I have here, they are in box. I found some of these games pretty cheap, I can't remember all the prices on them, but they were pretty cheap. There is one in here that's definitely, it was expensive. I got pretty cheap. It's expensive now. If you look it up on Amazon or eBay, I believe it is. But this is a great game called Shadow Squadron. It was pretty good on the 32X. It's kind of like a, how you say, it's kind of like a shooter adventure game for the 32X. As you can see, it comes in a cardboard case. I like to keep my stuff in pristine and try to keep it up pretty good, because you got to watch with these cardboard boxes. I mean, they rip very easily. And if you see in the background, there's the instructions. But it's a pretty decent game. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't pay too much for this game. It's pretty good. And as you can see, the box is in really good condition. That's the thing with these games. The boxes, man, some people actually threw them away. But it's in very good condition for it to be a cardboard box. Now, the next one I have here, a lot of people probably won't like it. It's NFL Quarterback. Got it really cheap. I think it was $2-3. But it's for the 32X. And it's actually not a bad football game. It's pretty good. It is complete. And it's really not that bad. It's a pretty decent game. If you're into old school football games, and you pick it up. Sometimes you can find just a cartridge for $1. You're probably going to pay a lot more if you want the cover. So, it's not bad. Another game here I thought was pretty cool, earlier day mech game, is called Metalhead. The box is in pretty good condition. Graphics weren't that bad. You know, a lot of people ripped on the graphics, but you gotta remember, for those days, this was amazing stuff, you know? It's not like what you see today with my Xbox One X, or you see with the, if you have a PlayStation 4 or whatever. It's not nothing like today. But you have to appreciate and respect the work and hard work that went into these games that these developers did on these cartridge games, because a lot of them did put their blood, sweat, and tears in some of these games, even though they might not look that great to everybody. You know, you gotta think of the gameplay, and the gameplay wasn't really that bad in this game. It was not bad at all. It was pretty decent, I thought. So, and that was it. And I only paid a few dollars for that. There it is, and the instructions are you know, in the background again. But it's not a bad game. Now this game is a little bit expensive. I actually looked it up, and it's kind of expensive now, and it's for 32X too. It's called Tempo. This game is not bad. It's a pretty decent game. It's actually a really cool game with cool music in there, man, and the boards. It's kind of trippy, you know what I mean? But it is really, it's really unique. You know, to me, I mean, there's a lot of creative developers today, but some of the people that did these games for these older systems were very creative. And the artwork is pretty good too, I think. You know what I mean? You just don't see stuff like this anymore. You know, not that much. You know, and it's in real good condition. Like I told you, keep them in great condition. You know, you can find the tape, I think, for pretty cheap. But like I said, it's the box and it being complete, man, where, you know, it's going to cost a lot more. But I've seen this up in price. Even the cartridge was even up there in price. So, you know, but it's not that bad. That was a game. All right. The next one here, a lot of people didn't like it. It's an unfinished game. But it's not that bad. It really isn't. Well, it's a little bit bad, but, you know, it's an unfinished game. And I have it in the box, and it is Doom. It had the border around it when you played it. It had like really shitty music, you know, in it, and it was rushed. That's why it wasn't good. It was rushed. And there's actually boards missing in this game, you know. But it's not real bad. It's not like an E.T. like type game, and that is complete in there. You know, if you can see that, you know. It's really not that bad, you know what I mean? That border thing, yeah, that would have to go, you know, in it. But I like Doom, so I added it to my collection, and it's okay with me, you know. The next one we have here, which is a pretty good game. Some people even like this better on a 32X. And it is Virtual Fighter for the 32X. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Now this game I couldn't find this game complete, but this is the cartridge right here. So the label's pretty good on there, and then it has up top where it came from. I might take it off. I don't know, but it's not bad. You know, it's not complete, but Virtual Fighter is my favorite 3D game of all time. You know, I like Dead or Alive, but Virtual Fighter is probably my favorite. Always will be. But it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good. It's faster fighting action in it. Another game I found out there, which is pretty good. It's 32 meg power. It's pretty decent. It is Mortal Kombat for the 32X. Now, the Sega Saturn version, which I have, I believe that's a direct arcade port of the game, and it sounds better to me, the one on my Sega Saturn. But the one on the 32X wasn't that bad either. It does beat the one on the Genesis, hands down. It does. It sounds and looks better, you know, and it's a great game. Mortal Kombat is my favorite 2D fighter of all time, and it is complete in there. And it's in good condition. So that's not a bad game that came out for the 32X. I think this one also went up in price too. Now this game, a lot of people don't like this game. I like this game because I like different types of fighting games. It's kind of cheesy. But some people think this game is god-awful. I thought it was pretty good. And that is Cosmic Carnage. It's not a bad game. It has went up in price. It is complete in there. And it's a pretty cool, different type of a fighting game. It's really not that bad. I think it's pretty good. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, guys, I'm sorry for that. I'm back. I just received something in the mail today, and I'm actually going to open it up here before the video's done. But yeah, back to Cosmic Carnage. Pretty good game if you can find it, and you like all different types of fighting games and different versions and different types of fighting games. Pick up Cosmic Carnage. It's pretty good if you can find it on the cheap for your 32X. Now another one that was a really good game also. That's a sought-after game. I don't think it's that expensive. I don't think it is. Knuckles Chaotix for the 32X. This is the only Sonic game kind of affiliated with Sonic that's on there. Now, a lot of people didn't like because you were chained to another person and you had to jump up and let them go up there and then they pull you up and stuff like that. I mean, it's different. You know, it just takes some getting used to, but it's a pretty good game. You know what I mean? And this is the cartridge right here. That cartridge is in okay condition. You know what I mean? That's not complete. You know, that doesn't have the book, but I have a case for it, so that's not bad. So another great game that people love, very sought after game. You played in the arcades on your Sega Genesis. Is Space Harrier. Another great game, very, very good game, I think, and I love this game. I own it on the 32X, and I also own it on the Sega Genesis. And I think on the Master System, if I'm correct. But this is the one for the 32X. And it does come with the book. Now, later on in the years, they started making the books black and white. You know, but it does come with the book, and the tape, as you can see, is in very good condition. And it's a pretty good game. I like Space Harrier. It takes some getting used to, but it's a pretty good game. If you can find it on the cheap, guys, if you get a 32X, pick it up. Pick up any games you can that are affordable, or if you can afford them. Okay. Now, this next game is very, very expensive. I've seen it for over $100. I picked it up for $25 at my local exchange when I had it, and it's a very odd side-scrolling shooter, and it's called Colibri. This game is very expensive right now, and it deals with a bird, and you have to shoot like I don't know, it's like enemy birds and stuff like that. It's very weird, and I like it. It's very different. The music is very different, and that's what I love about this game. And it is very expensive right now. And the artwork was beautiful on this game. Let me see if I can pop it open for you here. And there's the game right there, and the instructions are in the back. The box was just a tad bit worn, but if you could find it with the box, it's going to be a lot more. Trust me. The tape is expensive by itself. I've seen the tape just for $30, $40. So it's a great game to have in your 32X collection if you can afford it. Now this next game is really cheap. Picked it up for $2. It is Motocross. A lot of people hate this game, you know, but it was a game for the 32X, so I picked it up. So, and there it is. It's in there. It's complete in there. The box is a little worn in there, but I did pick it up fairly cheap. You have to watch these. I don't know what was Sega. I don't know what they were thinking by putting these in cardboard boxes, but that's it complete. So you know. And the next one here, it has a little bit of writing on. I got it for $1 or $2. It is Sega Sports Golf Magazine. Great 36 holes. It was pretty cheap. Somebody drew on the back of it, but I got it pretty and they drew on the front. I'm going to try to get that off with an eraser, like lightly, if it works. If not, I got to leave it on there. And they wrote Toe Jam and Earl, I guess some kind of code. But that's a sports game for the 32X, and it looks really, really good condition. So, but I just wanted to give you guys a little background about the 32X. It was a great game system. You know, I like it. Like I told you, Virtual Racing is a great game on there. Some of the fighting games are on there. You know, it's all in how you look at it, you know, as a gamer and a collector. I'm a collector at heart. And whatever I can find out there, I'm going to pick it up. It doesn't matter if it's Xbox, Sony, Sega, whatever. If I pick it up, I'm going to collect for it because I love gaming. You know, it's my hobby, my favorite hobby ever. And it's a great system. And I'm going to show you some of my older systems in later videos. So, I got a package today. I'm going to open it right now. It's a game. It's a game that I ordered because I didn't have this in my collection. And I thought I did. But it just came. That's why I paused it. So I'm finding it here. It's not in its original case, but I'll get an original case for it. Let's make sure everything looks good in here. Yeah. But it has the book with it and the game. And this game is actually back and pat, and it's by Namco. It is Breakdown. So I just got this in the mail as we speak. It's in a black case, but I have a green case for it, so it will look in its original form. But this is Breakdown. This is a pretty, I believe, under-the-radar game that was out for the original OG Xbox, and I'm actually going to download it now into my Xbox One X. But it did come today. It's a great beat-em-up. It is complete in there, and it was only a few dollars. Oh, I got it off of Amazon, but I got that today. So this will probably be in my next Xbox. This is going to be part 3 of my OG Xbox collection. It'll probably be in there. So this video's ran over 22 minutes, guys, but I wanted to you know, tell you a little bit about the 32X. It's a beloved system of mine. If you find it out there with all the pieces, get it and hook it up to your Sega Genesis, because it's another system to enjoy. You know what I mean? It just, one of the reasons why the 32X kind of fell is because I think 5 months later the Sega Saturn came out and everybody wanted the Sega Saturn. So it went from, I remember at one time the system in the box and everything was like $19.95 or $25. That's how bad it did near the end when the Sega Saturn came out. So, you know, now it's very expensive, some of the stuff, you know what I mean, because it's for collectors collecting. So if you find it out in the wild, guys, pick it up. It's a great system. You need to give it a chance, all right? So this is Sega Man. I want to give a shout out to my friends. Also, thank you for subscribing to my channel and watching my channel. I really do appreciate it that you guys watch my channel. And I like when you give comments about my games and my opinions on games. I think that's really cool when you guys do that. And always remember, I do subscribe back to your channels also. And I eventually will give an opinion about some of the stuff you pick up. Doesn't matter if it's games or if it's games and DVDs. I might do that. I might mix that in a little bit. I might show you some of the DVDs I picked up with my games. I don't know. I kind of like to keep it gaming. And maybe I'll do a separate one where it's just DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever or something like that. But primarily my channel's gaming. So I want to give a shout out to Carly. Check her out. She's cool. Check out Hebot. He's a very good friend of mine. He's very knowledgeable in gaming, as always. You know, Hebot's a really cool dude. Thrifty Gamer, Rambo, he's a cool dude. Yeah, I just have a lot of good friends on here that give me nice comments, and I comment on their channels, and we're just regular YouTubers. You know, just if you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you don't, that's fine. If you like it, thank you very much. So Well, I gotta go now, guys. This is going over 25 minutes, this video. I don't really like to do really long videos, so thank you for watching, guys, and happy gaming out there, and just enjoy everything that you like in gaming, and don't ever let nobody decide or change your opinion about video games, alright? And always remember, for me, it's Xbox for life. Jump in. Peace.